always love Crispin.
Crispin, yeah.
We need to. I can't. Let me look at Anemone. I can't believe we didn't even mention Anemone yet.
Yeah, she is in this movie.
And she is not.
Yeah, we should have mentioned her with the.
We should have mentioned her with the characters.
Shifts.
I'm gonna go back to her right now because we have to.
Backing up.
Anemone was drastically different from the Anemone that a lot of us probably remember. Do you think of her as crazy? Wow.
In the series, yeah.
This is where she...
That's putting it lightly.
That is putting it lightly. She is not the crazy girl in this. She's actually...
Probably the sanest one.
She's even philosophical in this movie.
Oh, yes.
And this is where we have to give a lot of shout-outs to Kari Wahlgren for her performance, because she had to play Anemone at various steps of her life.
It was...
Because... Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an older Anemone than the age that we're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see much of a younger? I think we saw a little. Well, not much.
We don't really see real little Anemone, but we see an old lady Anemone, and we see the Anemone we're really used to. And Wahlgren plays both of them.
Yes.
And she plays both of them really well. So we really have to give some shout-outs to Kari for that performance. Yeah. She was really good.
Let's see. Other than that, the cast, like we said before, is really solid.
We didn't get to... Needless to say, since we saw it in the theater once, we haven't seen the Japanese. I'm going to guess it was probably solid there, too.
Yeah.
But the English dub definitely gets my seal of approval. I enjoyed it.
Let's see, what else is there then?
Well, we could talk about the action a little bit. And
sure.
I want to talk about the action a little bit, partly because...
The mechas.
I love robots. I love Mecha. And most of all, this movie proves something that Michael Bay needs to learn, which is that you can have a ridiculously kick-ass mecha scene and still have a heartfelt movie where you care about the characters and you actually have an enthralling story.
Yeah, he should watch more of these kind of shows, shouldn't he?
The Nirvash, the main mecha, we see it take these... one of the first things we see it do is shove these blade things into one of these Azo aliens and just rip it in half. Blood everywhere.
On top of a mother and her child.
On top of a mother and her child. It was like, for anyone who is wondering how dark this movie's gonna get, don't worry, less than 10 minutes in, a mother and child get an alien killed on top of them, so...
Well, what was great, a little comments about the week before when we were ordering tickets, because we were worried it was gonna get packed. We went online and they were only selling child tickets, which is like 12 and below. This was not really a movie for those kind
This
of
is
kids.
not a 12 and below movie. It didn't get a rating, but it should have gotten a PG-13.
At least, yes.
There's some cursing in there. There's...
Nothing too profound. It's not Black Lagoon.
Oh yeah, we're not talking the F-word symphony there, but, you know, we got enough that it can offend those who don't deal with cursing that well. Brian's covering his ears.
Earmuffs.
Then there's also the violence we've already mentioned is very graphic at times.
Very graphic, but it doesn't overstep, I thought. There's some things where...
It's graphic, but it's not,
It doesn't focus...
It's not Evil Dead graphic or Hellsing graphic. It's not over-the-top violence. It's graphic to prove a point and really send the dramatic message home, not just to... It's not Watchmen graphic. And I'm going to keep referencing that video, and no matter what anyone says, I'm holding to that opinion.
Fair enough. Should we talk about the fight between the Nirvaj and the End?
Oh, yeah, that was an interesting fight. For those who are...
Yes.
Watch the TV show, you know, there's the Nirvash, then there's the End, the black version.
The white robot versus the black robot.
Which is not the white robot versus the red robot, which kind of contradicts my show.
Yeah, a little bit. But, you know, I'm sure there was a red robot somewhere.
There was a...
The eyes were red.
Ray had a red robot.
Ray had a red robot.
Ray did have a red robot. That wasn't in... Well, yeah, there was in this movie, kind of. That might be all you see of Ray. I didn't say that, though. What?
What?
No,
I didn't hear nothing.
But,
The fight between the Nirvaj and the end is phenomenal.
it's epic. It's,
Yes.
It's indescribable.
The scale of it is just...
The scale of it is...
It's too much for words.
It's
I
contained
think.
in one room. That's the crazy part.
I know.
I had no idea how they did that, but...
It's amazing that they pulled it off, but they did, and it was wonderful.
It's ridiculous. Should we
And
segue into it? Should we talk
And if
about
you want, later on, if you check out my Arcemise's DeviantArt page, you will see this fight, because I have depicted it myself in a still frame, unfortunately. I'm not that good at animation. But
I'll be linking it in the sidebar, so
Yes.
for anyone who wants to take a look at that, yeah.
that'll be up in the next day.
Yeah, the Nirvash and the end were interesting. The mecha were really cool in this movie.
Yes.
I'm never going to like the design of Nirvash Spec 3. I liked the scene it was in, and I thought the fight between that and a certain other really cool mecha that a certain viewer of mine named Jake really likes was really cool. But I'm never going to like the Spec 3 design. It didn't change the fact that the scene with it was really good.
It's the same design that they had in the series, right?
I think it was. It might.
It's fairly similar. It's rather bulbous, if you will.
They added red accents onto it that I don't
Oh.
think were in the TV series. But yeah, I don't really like the Spec 3. The Spec 2.
If you're used to your mechas like Gundams, where there's a lot of angles and sharp corners and everything, you might not like the third one.
Yeah, I like Spec 2 quite a bit, partly because it's a triple changer. I mean,
Yes.
for all you Transformers junkies out there, we've
Car,
got,
jet, and mecha on a surfboard.
yeah, a car, jet, and mecha on one surfboard. How awesome is that? You can't contain that kind of awesome.
No, you can't.
Except Robot Damashi did, and it's a $45 action figure.
Yeah.
Darn it.